Hi guys, it's Catherine Metcalf. I'm a professional astrologer, intuitive, and tarot card reader, and teacher and speaker. And I just wanted to weigh in quickly on Brett Kavanaugh, who is up for Supreme Court Justice. And he has been pushed by the Republicans. They really want to get this guy in here so that he can follow the conservative agenda that the Republicans have against women, basically. So I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm a very liberal Democrat. So if you don't want to listen, don't listen. It's totally fine with me. But when I do astrology readings, I am trying to step back and look at charts without any expectation or lean, and see the good and the bad in these. So because each chart has both. So I wanted to show you Brett Kavanaugh's chart. And I just looked at this today, but I felt really compelled to come on tonight or today before the hearings tomorrow and before they vote on him on Friday, just to give you my input. So in his chart, now we don't know his birth time, so that's really important. So we don't, the houses may not be, they won't be accurate. So, but the placement of the planets in the zodiac signs, we know to be accurate. So his birthday is February 12th, 1965, and he was born in Washington, D.C. So his sun is in Aquarius at 23 degrees. And it's conjunct Mercury in Aquarius at 21 degrees. So normally when I look at that, Aquarius tends to be progressive, independent. They can be a little bit standoffish. They don't like drama. So he's probably not liking the situation that he's in right now. But they tend to be progressive. Now that surprised me because he's known to be an extremely conservative judge. But he has a square to Jupiter here. I think, yeah, square to Jupiter, which is the planet of good luck, and a square to Neptune, which is deception. And then he's also got Jupiter opposing Neptune. So, this makes a T-square right here, which is a challenging aspect in anybody's chart. Okay. So the fact that he has Jupiter square the sun can mean that he is highly idealistic, that he has big hopes and aspirations, but may have a challenge getting there. And then because a square is a challenging position, okay? And then he also has the sun square Neptune. Neptune is the planet of spirituality and confusion and not seeing clearly. If you think about Neptune, the god of the seas with the trident rising up out of the seas, he has the ability to make everything really nice and calm with his trident, or to cause typhoons. Yeah. So tsunamis, that kind of thing. So in a square from the sun to Neptune is either, again, being too idealistic or not seeing things clearly. So there's definitely some challenges in his chart. It's fascinating to me. I mean, I can see the desire to be the judge. He's got some Virgo in here, and then Jupiter is important in his chart. But it's fascinating to me that, a judge is supposed to be somebody who sees the facts and makes a decision based on the facts, when in his own birth chart, he has a hard time knowing what the truth is. So that's a little challenging. And then the other fascinating thing is he has an asteroid right here. It's opposing his sun, and it's called Nemesis. Okay, and then the sun opposing the asteroid and Jupiter opposing Neptune, this is called a grand cross. Very challenging aspect. It means that they're basically unbalanced and have a hard time seeing reality. So the fact that he's got Nemesis there, Nemesis can mean that in his chart that either he has the ability to block other people and be a nemesis to them, people that oppose him, or that can happen to him. So it's possible that he can be blocked from achieving his goals. Okay. Let's see, what was the other thing? Oh, and Nemesis likes to have retribution and divine justice. The other thing that was really interesting is that he has asteroid Trumper. It's Trumper, which is as close as we have to Donald Trump, at 29 degrees Capricorn up here. And it's actually conjunct his asteroid Karma, which is fascinating. So it's almost like it was predestined for these two to come together and to try to work together and push their agenda through. The good news for those of us that are liberals is that he has asteroid Achilles. You know, you've heard of Achilles' heel. Okay, that points to a weak spot. And that is opposing his Karma and Trump asteroid. Yeah, that gives me hope. Okay. So I actually pulled up the transits for the day of the vote. You know, Congress or the Senate is going to vote on Friday. So I pulled up the date, September 28th at noon in Washington, D.C., to see how Mr. Kavanaugh's chart was looking for that point or at that time. So what I got is that he's got transiting Neptune, conjunct his progressed Saturn, which is up here. Saturn is reality, Neptune is la la land. So there's confused perceptions, and he's not seeing the truth, or we're not seeing the truth of him. There is also Jupiter conjunct Neptune, both his birth Neptune and his progressed Neptune. And that can be a false sense of happiness. He thinks he can do anything and get away with it. And then the other thing that was really interesting is that he has transiting Saturn, which is here, and it's opposing his natal moon. The moon represents women. Saturn represents rules. So that could be his downfall. There are now 3 women who have come forward saying that there was some kind of sexual misconduct with them or in the area that they witnessed. So my hope is that this is more than enough. One woman coming forward should be enough for the Senate to stop in their tracks, say, look, we need to investigate this. The FBI needs to get involved. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened thanks to Charles Grassley. And being an Iowa girl, it makes me ashamed that he's from Iowa. Okay. Anyway, I just want to say that I hope that Christine Blasey Ford gets to be heard and respected and believed. There is absolutely no reason for a woman to make something like that up. Absolutely none. So, and then to have 2 other women corroborate, saying that they had been in a bad situation with him as well, shows that there's a history. We know he has a history of partying and drinking at his prep school and at Yale. So, yeah, it's not behavior becoming of a Supreme Court justice. All right. There's my input. I don't know if I'm praying and hoping, but I am praying and hoping that I'm reading this chart clearly and that he will not be approved. There you go. Thanks so much for listening. Namaste.